in your soul, waiting to shine. Pour a cup, lay the cards, let the magic flow. Every path has a meaning, every heart will know. We all have a journey, we all have a light. Through the highs and the lows, it's gonna be alright. At the TarotJo Café, let's talk for a while. Sip on some wisdom, leave here with a smile. The world feels lighter when we share our way. So pull up a chair at the TarotJo Café.
Hi, I'm Joe, also known as TarotJo in the world of tarot. As a passionate tarot reader, teacher, and author, I've dedicated my life to exploring and sharing the wisdom of tarot and spirituality. Through my books, courses, and workshops, I guide people on their personal and spiritual journeys. I created this podcast as a tribute to tarot and spirituality, a space where we dive into deep and meaningful conversations with well known and emerging voices in the spiritual and tarot communities. Whether you're a seasoned tarot practitioner or just curious about the magic of the cards, this is the place for you. Would you like to be a guest on my podcast? Do you have an inspiring story to share about tarot or spirituality? I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me at info@tarotjo.nl or send me a DM on social media. If you enjoy this podcast, please support me by liking, following, and subscribing on Spotify, YouTube, and all my social media channels. Your support means the world to me. Now, let's dive in today's episode. It's going to be another fascinating conversation. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the TarotJo Café. And I've got a brand new star with me. Actually, she's the reader, the tarot reader of the stars. And I'm allowed to say this, right, Angie Banicki?
Yes.
Tell me who you are and what are you up to with the tarot?
Well, I can't believe I've been reading the tarot as long as I have, hearing more of your story. I'm like, oh my God, I love how fresh you are in it and your perspectives, because it's been, I think, over 10 years now that I've been reading the cards. And what I'm up to now, I'm really trying to, we talked about that I taught a course, and I've been trying to like spin that a little bit because I think so many people are into tarot now. And I posted like a mini course sort of online, but really what I've been focused on is doing these weekly sort of channelings where we pull some cards for the week and we talk about what the cards want us to know collectively, or with like the group of people who come online with me, what the cards sort of give us a message, sort of like, here's how to view the week, here's how to approach the week. And it's fun to do with a group because you can also share. I have others share, like, what does it mean to you? Like, what do you think about that? And then sometimes we'll come back and we'll talk about things that happened from the week before to be like, oh my gosh, like I felt that message and it was really supportive when things showed up. Like I could navigate it better because, like, for example, last week was like, there's like some like bully and victim energy, and how are we showing up to life like not in bully and not being a victim. And it's I what I love about tarot, and I'm sure you feel this too, is like some of the magic in that, and like it's like extra awareness, right? And it just like makes life a little bit more magical because you're like, oh, I feel like I got some like clues to life.
Yes, definitely. And I introduce you as the tarot reader of the stars because you're based in LA, right? So
Yeah.
tell me, without calling any names, because I don't want to get you in trouble, but how you started this? Were you from very early age asked by famous people like Angie, please tell me what should I do this? Should I do that? How did it
I think it's by
like?
nature of being here. I think honestly, it's, life leads us wherever we're meant to be. And I genuinely didn't plan to be reading. I had a whole other life where I used to like throw events and do a lot of stuff with celebrities. But when this kind of happened to me, I almost like didn't want people to, I was kind of like, this is happening and whoever's like up for it. And really, it would become more someone's stylist would come for a reading or someone's makeup artist. And then they'd be like, oh, I want to send my
Right.
client or
Yeah.
whatever celebrity. And, now like I still, and a lot of famous people I've read have been because like someone might hire me to read at an event or a party. And then there's a lot of people there that might be famous and they're like, oh, I'd like to do a reading with you. But it really wasn't something I sought out. I have people contact me and ask, like, I want to have more like A-list clients. And to be honest, like, I think you can set that intention. For me, it was just happened more by nature of me being here and I guess like word of mouth, but it wasn't something I planned on, it just kind of
No,
happened that way.
if you plan on things, it's not going to happen, right?
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how do I, you were an event planner and did you bring the cards? Can you still remember what was the time that you actually put the cards on the table and people were like, "Oh, what's that?" Or
The event planning was sort of separate. I mean, it was more like marketing and building relationships with brands. And then yeah, and then I think once I went on my own and was doing that, but was sort of like, what's next? But I still didn't know what was next. And then I started having dreams and I would call people and tell them like the dream, like you were in my dream and this happened. And the person would be like, wait a second, like that's what I was wearing. That's what I did yesterday, or like that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, or I would call people and say, like, I think your son is going to be born 10 days late, like things like that would just happen. And I just kind of listened and was paying attention to it. And then I was just doing it for fun. Like I would go out to dinners with friends and it was just a fun. And this is kind of how I approach the tarot in teaching it because I think like you can study a ton, but a lot of it, or for me, in my experience, and what I love about it is like it just helps open a channel for me by
Oh yeah.
using the cards. It so you can have knowledge and that can help, but once the channel opens, it's almost like the information is just flowing, right? And you
Yes.
don't need to know the meaning of every card because it just starts flowing and opening up. And that's what I love about the tarot is it's like this tool, but sometimes more knowledge can hinder that channel, right? Like because you just need it to unlock and then open. Um, and so I would do that at dinners and just like practice or go to, I would be with friends or yeah, I would be at events and friends would be like, get your cards out. And it was just this fun thing. And at the time, that was like 13 years ago. And that was when it wasn't as popular as it is now. So it was still sometimes weird. Like some people would be like, put those away. Like people don't, you're making people uncomfortable. It was still sort of like this. And I just was like this just makes life more fun for me. Like I was sort of like, why wouldn't everyone want to like play this game? It's like it was like a game,
Yeah. Yeah. It says on the box. I mean, it's a game still. It's still considered as a game. Maybe it's easy marketing, then people would buy it, but it's still like it should be fun, right?
Totally, totally.
Yeah. And I love the way you say about the intuition. And I always tell my students, I mean, you're a teacher as well, like stop thinking, start feeling. That you can, if the Ace of Cups will join the table, it's like you can say like, oh, this is what in the book, and I've written 7 books, but I always say that's great. But now what do you feel? Which is so much more challenging and so much more a bigger world in itself. I mean, that's how I do it. How do you do it?
How do I do, like, how do I open up?
Yes.
Um, it's funny because like once you've been doing it a while, right, you almost forget to even think about what you do, right? Like you just sort of like I just get the cards out and I
Yeah.
start and I'm like, okay. I also channel through music. So I'll have the music playing on shuffle and the music will like speak to me
Love
sometimes
that. Yes, I love that.
because I just like you said, I can get in my brain. Like at first, it was really hard for me to not be in my thinking brain. Like before I would start, I would have to go for a long walk, water all the plants, like do all the things to be
Mm.
like light all the candles, like do the sage, like try to be really. Whereas now I can just sit down and pick up the cards and it's like, and just like drop right in, right? It's almost like this automatic because you get so attuned that it's like, oh, here's the moment.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and like I said, and I think I don't know if you feel this way, but with different people, it's different. Like there are some times with certain clients, I just can start reading and I feel them. I might feel things in my body. I might like really feel like I'm with them, and others I might be more like really reading the cards or like needing them to ask more questions. Like it's a different experience.
I always see
Um,
this like I tune into someone's energy, I always say, and some people have really light energy and it's really easy to read them. And some people have very hard and very stiff energy. And there's like you really have something to work for it. And you can't pick up too much then. Even if you say like try to open up, like some people are very reserved, and which is fine, of course. I mean, it's not like they can't be reserved, but you feel the difference. And so maybe it's a little bit of the same. I always say, like, I'm in someone's energy and then I let it go. I don't know if you have this, like 95% of what I talked about is gone. It's like after the reading, and then it's gone. And I always tell them, like, it just vanishes, like energy. And then the 5% that actually I can still remember, I just keep it for myself.
Same. I've had so many times where I go back or a client comes back a year later. And recently this happened where they shared something with me that was like huge, like about like
Hmm.
their husband running for president. And I legit was like, no. And they were like, yeah, we talked about that last time. And I was so shocked at myself to be like, how would I not know that? But I was also like, I know that's something that's very secretive and that like isn't meant to be shared. And like to your point, I was like, oh, I mean, the second time I got it because I was like, whoa. But I was really actually happy. I was like, wow, I was so in it and able to share and be what they needed without taking any of that with me. And yeah, I love how you say it. It just like disappears with the
It
energy.
disappears.
Um,
And sometimes when customers come back and you start channeling again, then things will pop up like, oh yeah, that's because you're in someone's energy again, then like energy meets. I don't know. I can't explain it.
totally, totally,
Yeah, I just like
totally.
moving like, oh yeah, now I remember what we were talking about. Or now it's like, oh, you wanted to do this trip or whatever it was.
Right. Like it comes back like you see them and you're like, and then all of a sudden you're reading the cards and you're like, it's like it starts to come back in. It's
Yeah.
very strange because it's not how we've been taught as humans
Yeah.
to
Yeah, isn't it?
test information.
It's out of intuition. I don't know if you can channel also without cards. I can do this without cards as well, but I like the guidance of the cards. What about you? How does that work with you?
I'm in this healing school right now that's like a hands-on healing. It's called Barbara Brennan School of Healing. And I really joined it not because I want to do hands-on healing, but to your point, I really rely on the cards. Like, yes, there are times where I'll start to channel with people, but it's um I rely on them. And I think part of me likes that it's a it's sort of a boundary too, right? Like if I'm at a party and someone's like, tell me things, I'm just like, oh, I don't have the cards. And it like makes it sort of like, I don't have to work right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's a great excuse. Like, I didn't
It's
give you my cards, I can do this without, but don't tell
totally,
anyone.
totally, totally.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I like the guidance. I mean, there's so many like circles of life people are in. So I like the cards, like, okay, show me. Especially when people say, I don't really have a question. Just do a general card and see where we go. And you always know that the things that are, they put most energy in will end up at the table, right?
Mhm.
That's how it's mostly that's how I feel about it. So
Yeah.
um I love the way that you do this with music, and I've actually attended one of your courses on Facebook. That was quite some time ago. I really have to look back when it was. I think it was
I think that was
2018, 2019.
2021,
Sorry?
maybe 2021 or
Could very well be. Could very well be. And I know that you did these things on Facebook, and then you had this playlist on and on shuffle, and then it's like I remember you saying like, oh, this is the song, this is a message, and then you put this in your readings as well. Do you still do this?
I still do it. So when someone after their session, they get a playlist of all the songs that came on.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
That's
it's like a song, I think it's like 2000 songs that I just hit shuffle
Oh,
and then it
wow.
spits out whatever is playing.
Well,
Yeah.
I've told you I've written 2 albums.
I
um
know. That's so cool.
yes, and if you like, I will send you so you can listen to it. And it's all, well, most of it is inspired by the tarot. I've also written a salsa song about the tarot, which has never been done before. And also wrote a Christmas song about the tarot. And
No way.
yes, yes, it's all pop funk, all in English. So if you want,
Cool.
I'll send it your way, and maybe you can
Yeah,
use it.
definitely.
You can use it with your readings if you like, and if you feel aligned with it.
Yeah, I would
This
love
is
to hear
also
it.
channeled. Yeah, this is also like out of intuition. Things come out of intuition, basically.
Yeah, that's so cool. How did you know you wanted to channel the music?
When I wrote my book, the one I told you about, How My Passion Found My Life, about my crazy story of 4 years of becoming Joe, the teacher of English, to Tarot Joe, the one who's traveling the world and doing talks, um and I was writing this book. Actually, it was a dream. I got this from a dream, and
Wow.
I heard this song. I heard this voice like, you have to write a book about your story, and I thought, nobody's wants to read this. I'm just doing this journey for like 3 years or something. And then I heard this also. We've got a title for you, How My Passion Found My Life. And I thought, that's a cool title, but it's because I've written 6 books, and I thought, the girl needs a break, like. And then I went to one of a friend of ours who's a medium, and the first thing she said, I didn't discuss this with her. They're wondering why you're not writing the book. So I figured, okay, I have to write the book. So I wrote the book about how I found my passion, which is the tarot and spirituality. And then I was writing it, and then I figured, wouldn't it be cool to have songs with the chapters? So I started writing songs with the chapters, and also
Oh,
um,
cool.
some are very, pretty rough chapters as well. But I didn't want to make, tearful music. I wanted to inspire people. And I don't know if you have this, but I channel a lot of rainbow babies, a lot of babies who didn't come to this world, but ended up, between 2 worlds, and they visit me a lot. So, and I've channeled quite a few, and I've written a song about this too. And it was like, it was connected to a chapter, but also I wanted to feel the parents to have some comfort, because they're so happy. They're so happy souls, and very gentle souls, and I really love to channel them. That's
Wow.
so that's how I started. Like, wouldn't it be great to have songs with it? So there's 20 songs with the book, and then from one thing leads to another. Actually, I am a musician, amateur wise. I'm a bass player.
Cool.
But and I know things of music, but Now with my company, it's a bit too busy. So, but I love music. It's like it's so spiritual. It makes your soul happy. It makes your soul want to dance. So I was experimenting with, the modern things, and I figured, can I write a salsa song with, Spanish influences? And I could. And then I was writing um, a reggae song, and that worked out quite well as well. So
Wow.
one thing led to another. So, and surely there will be a third album. Surely,
Really?
surely. So yeah, I love that you work with music as well, because I do too. And I've written songs about the tarot, about figures in the tarot cards, and, things that come to mind. Whatever comes to mind.
So cool. The
Yeah.
song playing right now is Juice by Lizzo, which I feel like is like about your songwriting. It's
What is the song about?
it's the lyrics are like um it's like she's like, yeah, blame it on my juice, blame it on my juice. Like she's sort of like she's like, I'm the it ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the putting in the proof. Like it's like she's like very like owning herself and her like, purpose and her joy.
Great, great. Good alignment, good alignment. So,
Yeah.
what is the deck that you like to use most?
I use my own deck now. I made this deck with I designed it with a partner with a friend of mine that I've known for like 20 years, and she does graphic design. And so we did the deck together, and it came out last spring, like in April. Oh my God, almost a year ago, actually now. Wow. So I use this deck now always. And then I mean, I'm covered in like, I like to switch up. Like someone just sent me their deck last week. And so I've been playing with this one. What's her name? Renee Barabo. She just sent me her deck, and so that's kind of cool. I like shifting. I don't know about you, but I like to play with different. I like Alana Fairchild's decks, but I like to switch because I want it to feel brand new. Like my deck just feels comfortable to be able to, like I was saying, like open up and get these messages. But then I like to pull from all these other ones during the reading. Like I'll pull a few others because it just gives it a lot of times we'll just align the messaging. Like sometimes I'll be saying all these things and then we'll turn over a card and I'll start reading it. And the person and I are like, wait, this is exactly the same stuff I've been like saying. So it feels very like,
Yeah.
it like verifies it for the person, right? To be like, whoa, this is the message. So if you didn't hear it, here you go, a little bit deeper.
Lovely, lovely. So, are you a big deck collector? Can we call you a deck collector?
I definitely am a deck collector, but then I give them away. So like
Okay.
I've probably bought like, I don't know, 300 decks, but
Wow.
right now I have like in this room with me, maybe like 25, and then I have some in storage, but then I give them away because I'll almost feel like I got everything out of it. And then I want someone else to be able to like
Hmm.
share in the joy and like connect to
I
it.
like that. I like that idea. Like, well, this maybe belongs to you. See what you can do with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There was a point in my life where I started giving them, I would just give decks that I already owned as gifts to people. But then I realized not everyone's as into tarot as me. So I was like, okay, that's
um,
not
no, that's true. And I get a lot of decks too, but not every deck resonates with me. It's like
total.
I'm, my books. I've written most of my books about the Rider-Waite deck because that's the go-to. And I remember, if I'm correct, that you used the Rider-Waite back then when you were doing Facebook.
Yep. That's
For
what I learned on. And that's what I used all the way until I got this. And then
Yeah.
now I just,
So
but yeah.
so tell us a little bit about that deck that your own deck. What is it called, and why is it so special?
It's called the Explorer of Soul deck. It's a deck of everyday magic. So it has a little bit like what I was saying to you, where idea of it, it's based off of Rider Waite, so it has a similar feel, and there's some images that are similar. But the idea is that we wanted to make it, I mean, the unique aspect is it has music. So every card has a song and a song for the reverse, and sometimes more than one song. So I thought for for anyone who's like learning or just another way to get the feeling of a card, they can go listen to the song. And sometimes, and I channeled those too. So sometimes the song, I would be like, oh, okay, this song goes with this card. And it would just, the idea is like go listen to the song and let it help what else that brings up for you around the meaning of that card. And then the deck is like very simple. Like the hope is that it's for people where if you just feel like pulling a card of the day, you can like see what it makes you feel. And it's like an easy, simple connection to the card so that you can get a little message and have fun with it. Or like you can bring it out at a dinner party and be like, let's see what happens. Yeah.
So is it like brand new songs, or is it existing songs they're connected to?
Existing song, like, you know, it's all songs from my playlist that I channel from.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like the Rolling Stones. It's like, you know, it's all different. All
Great,
different.
right.
Yeah.
So I was hoping maybe there's like new songs like I did, but there's also existing songs.
No, there's no like new, no, there's none. There isn't anything I created like you. That's really cool though. Like, I guess that could be the next.
Who
I love
knows? Who knows? Well, I've written a song of the deck, of the unique tarot deck. It's I think
Ah,
the only deck in the world that actually has a song. And my deck's got QR codes, and because I don't have a book, but I have QR codes that people can scan.
oh, cool.
And there's an online book, and it's in 4 languages.
Very cool.
So, and it's going all around the world. And you could have been in this deck, Angie. You
I
could have been there. You could have been, but somehow our messages got vanished in thin air.
I can't believe it. I'm so bummed.
Yes, yeah. But in spirit, you will be in the deck.
Thank you.
How is that?
Take it. I'll take it.
You
I'll
take
take
it?
it.
So, who are you now in the tarot deck? If you can compare yourself at the moment, who do you compare yourself with? Who are you in the tarot deck at the moment?
Okay, well, it's funny. In this deck, I am the fool. The artist put herself as the world and me as the fool.
Hmm.
Because I love the fool because it's just sort of like it's the reminder to just like trust and everything's an adventure and you're just so wide open to where that life can like change in an instant, right? But I've really been connecting. It's been coming up a lot for me whenever I do pull is the Empress. So if you're asking who I am right now, I've been really feeling more Empress vibes. Like I've been having like lots of like animals, like I don't know, show up in my life, or like I've been feeling drawn to animals, and spending more time as a mom, and nature has just felt so like it's literally, I mean, I'm saying it because it's on the bottom, you know, like when I just turned my deck over, it was on the bottom and I was like, yeah, there she is. Just
Can you
like,
show it a little bit closer so we can actually see it?
yeah,
That's you, the Empress. Lovely.
I'm feeling her right now. I'm feeling that connection to nature and that creativity. Like you're inspiring me talking about your music and your writing because I feel like I've been being pulled to be like, okay, what else do you want to create? You know, like we did this deck and I'm feeling like, what else do I want to create?
So what else do you want to create? What's on your big wish list?
That's the big question. I'm starting to do I'm asking for more guidance there because I am feeling like do I want to, is the next step like doing a book, or is it more right now? We've started doing these little events that are sort of like tarot parties and like these vision
Oh,
boarding events where we use the
oh,
tarot
wow.
and do vision boards.
Yeah.
And that's been really fun and something new. And it's been creating sort of a way of teaching that is, it's light and it's fun, but it's really opening people up. The last one we did, someone joked because she's like, you said this is light and fun, but she's like, I just felt my body like when I'm around shamans, what you just did, my body just started to like respond. And I was like, oh, I like that. We're tricking you into the spiritual.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to create that. And I don't know, I've really enjoyed the last few years. I've gotten to consult on some movies. So the tarot movie that came out, I got to work with the cast
Oh,
and
did ya?
producers
I
and
watched it.
writers.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was definitely like a different kind of, but it was fun for me because like a lot of my friends who saw it were like, oh my God, it felt like we were watching you because I helped her learn how to like pull the cards and like, and just
Okay.
act in that moment. And it was fun. And
Yeah.
I helped them in like doing some of the deck. I mean, it was a horror movie, so it was
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
there was also a Marvel movie that just came out, which by the way I haven't seen yet, but
Oh,
it's called Craven the Witch Hunter, and there's a scene in that with some tarot, and so I got to help them with that, which it was has been
really.
again. These are all things where I'm getting to be creative, but it feels like I'm just like dipping toes in, and yeah, and I'm a little open to what's next, but I don't have that full vision yet, and I'm trying to trust that that's because it's sort of coming together for me to show me what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, when the time is right, then, it will come to that. I was a little bit worried about the movie that it would be crazy and they would take the mick out of the tarot cards like they do a lot of times, this crazy person that always pulls the death card and say that you're going to die and stuff like
Right,
that.
right, 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 right. Well, by
Um,
the way, I mean, it had a little bit of that. Like, it definitely was like, I was on another podcast where they were like, not happy about the movie and saying like this is like horrible, and I was like, listen, the way I see it is like no press is bad press, and like tarot still got to be put out in the ethos, and it may not have been like when I consulted on the movie there were definitely things that I was like, well, that's not how I read the cards, but this is one way to interpret that, like it was a horror movie, so
yeah,
they have like
fair enough.
license to make it fictional,
Yeah.
and to make it fit with where they're going. And I liked that they wanted to be authentic in the process, but also wanted to be able to like create the story that they wanted the cards to fit in with the story that they were creating.
Yes.
But and so I liked it. Like it was like fun. And it wasn't like I would be like, oh, that's exactly the tarot, but it was a cool way of, again, tarot can be like fun and playful. It doesn't have to all be serious. This is exactly what,
No, no.
like you said, if you
No,
pull the death card, you usually no one's dying. Like,
no, no. That's not the case. But I know that Hollywood wants to, um have this fear factor of the tarot. They really want to explore that bit.
totally, totally, exactly. You
But
said it
I
perfect.
love it that you were part of it. So were there any things that you could actually change or alter a little bit? Like, this is not how we do this as tarot readers. Were they actually listening to you?
They were amazing. I loved the writer and producer that I got to work with. They were amazing. And like, listen, I consulted it. It didn't come out till like a year and a half later. So I don't even remember all the nuances. But I do know there were points where I was like, oh, it was so fun for me because I loved the storytelling aspect of it and getting to be like, well, if you want to tell the story this way, or if you want it to convey this way, like I loved the conversation of it. And I liked getting to be, and I'm sure you can relate to this, I got to be the expert in a way, but I also knew they had creative license to do whatever they wanted. So I wasn't like, you guys can't do that. This is how it
No,
has to
no.
be. It's all an interpretation, right? And so sometimes I would even be like, you could do it this way or this way. And they would say, what if we would do this? And I'd say, well, here's how I would read that. This
Mm.
is the interpretation I would take. And like, yeah, it was all it was all a process. But I think that's the beauty in the tarot, is that it's like it is open to, interpretation.
Mhm.
But what they wanted is they wanted to be able to be like, well, we want it to feel like if someone does know tarot and they see these cards, they're getting sort of some idea of something, and we're helping to plant that seed by telling, of a certain card.
Yes. Well, I love the fact that if you were friends with a tarot reader, you would survive. I really love that fact about about the story. So I remember I was doing I think I did a video or something in Dutch and in English. That I was a bit worried that it would be a very bad movie, but it wasn't actually. It wasn't that bad. It was quite fun. It was quite fun.
It did really well. I think it did really well in terms of
Okay.
like their numbers. So they did
So
something right.
if Hollywood is doing something tarot, will they come to you? Is that how it goes?
I mean, I do have to say, I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it, but there's another movie with, yeah, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get in trouble. But there's a big A-list actor, and he changed the movie where the director called me, um, and was like, "Oh, he wants to put a scene in with tarot. He wants to make it's a story, and he's like he wants the son to have tarot cards, and so we're gonna have a whole scene with it." And they were like, "Can you help us?" Which is like, to
Great.
your point, it's like it's become, I was like, I love that this huge A-list actor was like, we need to put a tarot scene in. I was like,
That is
nothing makes
amazing.
me more excited.
So
Yeah.
we know when the movie is out then.
Yeah, it'll probably, it's so early stages. Like they haven't even, I don't even think that I think they're still writing the movie. So this Alex actor is like writing it with someone that I kind of know. I know like his sister. So yeah.
Great, great. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
how that goes.
But more stuff, right?
More
And there
publicity about the
are,
tarot. Yeah.
right? And I think that's where, I guess that's why when you ask about creating, like I love the idea of um it's like the fun in it, right? It's another fun way to use the tarot. It's like when you're creating a story, to be able to use the cards to be like, oh, and I have a few clients who work on movies, and sometimes like we'll be able to see that, to look at like who they're casting, or maybe even like the way you're taking the story of a film you're putting together. You can use the cards for so many different things, and it doesn't mean they always give you the exact answer, which I know this too, but they can help guide things, right?
Yeah, it's guidance. That's basically it. So you've done tons of readings for people we all know, but is there still a list that you were like, oh, I would love to do a tarot reading for this person? Do you have a list? Like I have a list. I will tell you in a minute.
You
Uh,
do?
yes, I do have a list. But I first asked you, so
I
uh,
think
you want me to go first?
I don't have a list, and I don't really have, because I think for me, I like the magic of something showing up. Whenever there's like a new person that I'm like, oh my God, how did this person find me? I guess there's like some comedians, like I almost got hired to read at someone's like house, like, but they were like, oh, we can't afford you. And I was like, oh shoot, like why did I like not, I should have like just said I would do it. I
Yeah,
guess there's
for free.
like I like comedian. I don't know about you, but I like reading comedians. I like people who are funny but who are open,
Mm,
because there's like because I think a lot of comedians are also very insightful and are very like really want to understand the human condition, and so there's a way to go like deep with the tarot in that. But I don't really have a list. I mean, maybe Brad Pitt. I mean, I
that's
kind
it.
of like to read Brad Pitt, but I don't really have, I mean, but even that, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't have a thing. I think I'm back to the Fool. Like, I'm excited. Like, there's a million people. I feel like if I got the email, I would be like, oh my God, this is like so exciting. But I'm not like necessarily calling it in, because I think also I get nervous where I'd be like, even me saying Brad Pitt, I'm like, but could I do a good job reading him? What if it wasn't even that good? Like I start to have that where I'm like, only if it's like meant to be, it will show up on my path, you know?
So is it because you have a little crush on Brad Pitt?
I don't know. That's just the one person that comes to mind where I'm like, I remember there was like 7 years ago that I was like, he kept showing up in my dreams. And I was like, I guess that's someone I'd want to read cards for. So maybe a crush, but yeah, maybe a little
Maybe a
crush.
little. You can have a
Yeah.
celebrity crush. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, tell me your list.
Definitely Pink. I think she's really into spirituality.
Oh, yes. She
Um,
would be a good read.
yeah, I think she would be amazing, and still she's very spiritual, but also very down to earth, which I like.
Yep.
So that's definitely someone I really would like to read tarot cards for. I know someone who was asked at a Pink concert to do tarot readings for a cast, but she didn't do a tarot reading for her. But she
Oh,
was very close.
that's cool.
So yeah, I mean, I think she's amazing. She's just amazing. So yeah, definitely. Jennifer Beals. I think I don't know if you know her, the one
Is
from
that
Flashdance.
that's
She,
right. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah.
she's very spiritual as well, and I think that it will be such great fun to do a tarot reading for her. So definitely those two women. Actually, for me, it's women.
I love it.
So those are the top two, and probably there's a lot more than I can think of. Like, yeah, I would love to do a reading for this person or this person. So who knows? If you watch Pink, Jennifer Beals, contact me. I would love to do a reading for you. Who knows how far I can go, right?
I
And
love it. Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Angie really wants you to do a reading, really want to read your cards. So who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? We'll tag the person in it. Um, internet is, all about, wonders. So, what are you working on at the moment? Are you still doing teaching, writing? Where can we find you, and what can we do with the tarot with Angie Banicki?
Thank you. Well, you can go to my website, which is just my name.com, Angie, BANICKI.com. And that has, as I mentioned, there are two like mini courses on there. And then there are so like teaching that are just recorded courses. And then I do the weekly teaching that I was talking about. And you can actually use a code that is SOUL, SOUL 44, so that you can get 2 months for free of coming on to do. And that's basically like a weekly, like you can show up every week or whenever you feel like you want to get some extra guidance from the tarot for the week. And we do it live at 11 a.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. So that's something I've been doing. I still write taroscopes for the company Lunya. So I do those every month, and you can sign up for my newsletter on my website as well.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So you're still into teaching, love to spread the tarot.
I'm figuring out how I want to teach, which is starting this like weekly class that it's $22 a month, and it's more for me, it's a very the way I would want to learn the tarot, which is being able to dip in, and it's like a little bit, but I think like sort of going slow and talking about like a few cards at a time and seeing how they show up in your week helps them like really then land in a way to be like, oh, now I understand the meaning of that card more, because like here's what happened to me, to help it like really come into my body, like the understanding of it. And so it's a longer process, and it's not like a full, I think when I was teaching before, it was like more of this like really like it was more the old school way, right? Like this is like class that you come to every day, and like here's the things and here's the
Yeah.
workbook, and this is just like much more fluid, and it's kind of a test, and we talk into whoever comes in for the Zoom or the meetup. I think it's called a meetup. We share together too, which is kind of fun because it brings in different perspectives.
Yeah, lovely. It sounds really, really nice. And I love the way you teach, very spontaneous, very a lot of energy, and I love that. And some are very connected to like this is what it means, but you're very much into the intuition. I really like that. Whatever comes to mind, whatever you feel here, it's all in the moment. I really love that. I really, really love that.
Oh, thank you.
So you're in Hollywood, and what's the next big thing that will come with when connected to the tarot? What do you think that will be in future? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any visions about this?
I don't think people have been telling me about certain people who are talking about wanting to do shows that are either tied in with like witchcraft and how tarot fits into that. Like people are wanting to create more in terms of that.
Oh,
Um, so that's less visions, but actually information that people have been sharing with me. Like, oh, my friend did this meeting, and like so it's definitely getting out there more. But in terms of my vision for it, I don't know. I keep feeling, I don't know about you, but I just feel like so much is changing and so much, even in the entertainment world, is changing
yeah.
in a way that feels really exciting because it means like anything can happen, and like maybe what we like it could be that more of how we're consuming entertainment is changing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, it's more common now, so maybe it will spread out more in like TVs, like you did with movies. It's people are not that scared anymore of the cards. Like, of course, there's still people who say that they're cards of the devil or whatever, but it's more common. It's like back in 1997 when I bought my first Rider-Waite deck. I really had to look for it in bookstores, and I remember going to three bookstores, and I found it at the third.
No way.
And now you can buy it everywhere. Like almost every bookstore's got a book about the tarot or a deck,
Totally.
whatever.
Totally.
So, will there be great big shows about the tarot, about spirituality? And would it be mainstream? What do you think?
What do you think?
Well, you're the one who's living in Hollywood. I think you know best. I
I
would love
think
it. I would love it. I would tell you, like, if you need a guest or anything, I'll be there.
great.
I'll fly over from Holland to LA, and I'll be there with my deck.
Amazing.
But I think you should host this. I definitely see you hosting this.
You do. Ooh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, with your energy and you're very spontaneous. You will suck people into the screen. It's like everybody wants to do the tarot after they've seen you.
Oh,
What do you
thank you.
think?
I think like I think the world is our oyster. I think a lot could open up, but I think you're right in feeling there's going to be more. I think there's definitely going to be another big movie with tarot as like the where it's maybe not called tarot, but it like there's going to be a big movie.
Yeah,
Um, and the shows, yeah,
who knows?
who knows?
Maybe you know more than you want to share with us.
You're picking up on things.
Intuitively, I'm not using any tarot cards. They're just here. So we'll keep an eye on you, Angie,
Love it. I'm gonna keep
from
an
the
eye on you
from
now,
the
Tara Joe, because I better if there's another deck, I'm not gonna miss your message.
you better not. If
Now
there's going to be a new
you have
deck,
my email address. Now you have my email address. It will
I
not.
I do, yeah, and we definitely stay in touch. And who
Yes.
knows what we're going to do in future? I've got a feeling we're going to do something together. I don't know yet what, but we probably will. I mean, you're part of my tarot family, whether you like it or not.
I love it. I'm happy to be a part of the family.
Any parting words from Angie Banicki all the way from LA for my listeners?
Any parting words? Well, the song that's playing right now is Upside Down by Goldford, which feels like such a to me, it's like let this world, and I think that's where I was saying to you, even about entertainment, like let things keep like flipping us in the best way. Like find the magic when life is like, here you go. Now this is happening. Like, what are you gonna do with it? You know, the song is saying, like, you know me from the inside out. Right? It's like we're really, the more we're getting to know ourselves, the more the outside can be really powerful and exciting, even when it feels like there's like chaos. Like there's like a lot of excitement in that chaos.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Angie, for talking to me.
Yeah.
It was a privilege. Thank you for inspiring my journey, because that's what you did. And thank you for this wonderful talk. And I will post all the links from your website and how people can reach you and, learn from you. How's that?
Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this talk. And I wish you an amazing day in
You
LA.
too. You too in Holland and on your trip coming up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Till we meet again.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Take a seat, take a breath, let your heart unwind. There's a story in your soul waiting to shine. Pour a cup, lay the cards, let the magic flow. Every path has a meaning, every heart will know. We all have a journey, we all have a light. Through the highs and the lows, it's gonna be alright. At the TarotJo Café, let's talk for a while. Sip on some wisdom, leave here with a smile. The world feels lighter when we share our way. So pull up a chair at the TarotJo Café. She's a dreamer, a healer, a seeker, a friend. Every story has a lesson, a love with no end. In the shuffle of life, we find what is true. Spirit's been waiting, just calling to you. We all have a journey, we all have a light. Through the whispers of fate, we'll find it tonight. At the TarotJo Café, let's talk for a while. Sip on some wisdom, leave here with a smile. The world feels lighter when we share our way. So pull up a chair at the TarotJo Café. Through laughter and lessons,